All right, today we're going to break down what makes the perfect winter getaway. We're looking specifically at Finnish Lapland and what makes it such a dream trip for travelers from Singapore. And we're using some really cool insights from a company that does nothing but these kinds of trips. So let's get right into it. So, if you live somewhere that's warm all year round, have you ever just dreamed of a proper white winter? You know, that feeling of crisp cold air, seeing snow everywhere, and maybe, just maybe, those magical lights dancing in the sky? Yeah, for a lot of people, that is the ultimate fantasy escape. And you know what? It turns out Finnish Lapland is the place to go to make that happen. It's consistently one of the most popular spots because it's this amazing mix of real Arctic adventure, all that festive Christmas magic, and sights you'll literally never forget. But okay, let's be honest for a second. Planning a trip to the Arctic Circle when you're used to equatorial weather, it's not exactly simple, right? There's a lot to think about, the logistics, what to do, what to pack. It can get pretty complex pretty fast. And that's really what we're here to figure out. What does the perfect Finland trip actually look like for a traveler from Singapore? What are the absolute must-dos? And how do you piece it all together so it lives up to the dream? Well, we're about to find out. Okay, so first things first, we got to look at what people really want. And when you look at all the data and what travelers are asking for, a super clear pattern pops up. Let's call it the Big Four. These are the absolute non-negotiables that really form the heart of the whole trip. And here they are. You've got the Northern Lights, which is a huge driver, a visit to Santa Claus Village, that classic glass igloo stay, and the kind of surprising king crab safari. Let's dig into each one. Yeah, no shocker here. The number one reason people go is to see the Aurora borealis. I mean, this number says it all. A whopping 75% of people searching online are looking specifically for a Finland Northern Lights tour. For most, that's the whole point of the journey. Next up on the list, pure, unfiltered magic, a visit to Santa Claus Village in Rovaniemi. It's the official home of Santa, and it's not just for families with kids. It has this massive appeal for couples, too. Really anyone who wants that perfect, festive, storybook experience. And then there's this one. You've definitely seen the photos online, right? Staying overnight in a glass igloo? It's exactly as popular as you'd imagine. Lying in a cozy, warm bed and watching the northern lights dance above you, that is the absolute definition of a bucket list moment. But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at this number, 21%. That's the percentage of travelers who would rather postpone their entire trip for a whole year than miss out on staying in a glass igloo. That just shows you how absolutely critical this one experience is. And for our last one in the Big Four, we've got a fascinating curveball, the king crab safari. Now, it's technically in Norway, but it gets bundled into these Lapland tours. And for travelers from Singapore, it's become this special obsession. It seems like some of the first travel agencies pushed it hard, and the idea just stuck. Okay, so that's the wish list, the Big Four. But, you know, having a list of cool things to do is the easy part. The hard part? Actually making it all happen smoothly when you're planning from the other side of the planet. So let's talk about how to solve that puzzle. Really, it all comes down to having that specialized know-how. It means understanding the right pace for the trip. It means someone's got to handle every little detail from the flights to all the activities. And this is so important, having people on the ground both back home in Singapore and right there in Finland to help if anything goes wrong. But it's not just about booking activities and hotels. There's another big headache that always seems to pop up when you're planning a huge trip abroad. And that's money, right? You've got to deal with foreign currency and you get slammed with all those annoying transaction fees and bad exchange rates. It's that frustrating hidden cost that nobody likes. So check out this super simple but honestly brilliant solution. Just offer the option to pay with a local bank transfer into a Singapore dollar account. Boom! All those extra fees, gone. It's about making the payment part just as easy and stress-free as the vacation itself. All right, another huge piece of this puzzle is remembering that one size does not fit all. People want their trip their way, so flexibility and being able to customize things are absolutely essential, especially for this group of travelers. Think about those old-school, rigid group tours where everyone has to be on the bus at 7 a.m. sharp. Yeah, that's not what people want. There's a huge preference for semi-private tours. It just gives you the freedom to have your own itinerary, go at your own pace, and not be stuck with a huge crowd.
And this number right here shows you exactly why that flexibility is a game changer. A massive 65% of people are doing Finland as just one stop on a bigger European trip. So they need an itinerary that can easily plug into whatever they're doing next.
Okay, to wrap things up, let's do a quick fire round. A little Q&A with some of the most common questions people have when planning this kind of trip.
First one, and it's a big one. Do you need a visa to get into Finland if you're from Singapore?
And the answer is nope, which is great news. Finland's part of the Schengen area, so you can go for up to 90 days completely visa-free. Super simple. Okay, what about the best time to go? Well, that really depends on what you're looking for. If you go between September and November, you've got a great shot at the Northern Lights, and it's not as cold. December to February, that's your peak winter wonderland. Tons of snow, classic Arctic vibes. And then there's March, which is a really nice balance of both. Still plenty of snow, and still a great chance to see the lights. So there you have it, the secret recipe for the dream trip. The Northern Lights, a visit with Santa, that glass igloo, and a king crab feast. And you wrap it all up with a flexible plan that just works. We've basically broken down the perfect trip. So now the only question is, what would your perfect Arctic adventure look like?